One scares me a little.
It tastes like you just cleaned out your kid's fish tank. And that's exactly the way it tastes, like swamp water. It's like
Oh,
not
that
good.
sounds good. That is like eating a pancake right here. I think my eyelids are starting to sweat.
I think that one calmed down my taste buds a little bit.
Let this one sit for just a minute.
Hold on a second. Holy moly.
That one's
That one goes right to the back.
All right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Hot Seat. Today we have the one, the only, Pastor Tim. Tim, so glad to have you today. Excited to eat some wings with you and just experience some a meal with you.
That makes one of us.
Well, again, excited. We got a plate of wings ahead of us. We got a couple of questions. But before we get into the questions in the wings, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here at RMC, how long you've been here, and yeah.
I've been coming to RMC for about 23 years, and I started in junior high ministry, volunteering, and I thought I was going to be a missionary after I finished school discipleship. And then Robert and Eric asked me if I would interview for the junior high position, which I thought there's no way in the world. I'll just do the interview. It'll be fun to do the interview because I've never been interviewed by a church. And I thought, well, it'll be fun. I'll add it to my resume that they considered me or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Robert came and asked me and said, hey, let's talk about your new job. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what new job? And he said, junior high. And I was like, I need to pray about this. So I prayed and became the junior high pastor. It was an awesome time while I was in junior high. I loved junior high. I thought I'd never leave. And then God said, nope, it's time for you to move on to high school. And high school nearly killed me, but hey, I survived that. So
That's a whole nother story, right?
that's a whole nother story. Yeah.
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 Awesome. Well, exciting. Well, again, God's doing great things in and through you and in the high school. So it's awesome to see God working. Uh, so excited to get to know you a little bit more today and tell everybody some of the deep, dark secrets of Tim.
Oh man, there's a lot.
Yeah. Well, let's start with a fun question, Tim. If you could become instantly an expert at any random skill, what would it be?
Um, I was a maintenance guy for like 30 years, so I think the random skill I would pick would probably be I'd like to be a videographer. So I'd like to be where Faith is and put Faith right here
There you
and
go.
let her try the wings and me just videotape it. I think videography, it's awesome when you can tell somebody else's story, and especially to glorify God through people's story, I think, and to capture that. Like, there's so many times where I would be like, man, this would be an awesome video. This would be just an awesome thing to capture. And I think it's awesome when God captures people's stories in the Bible and lets us see it through the lens of how he worked and what he did in their lives. And I just think that's kind of what I love about videography is just seeing the story unfold before you and, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The technology that we have around us, like we could do this stuff from our phone and capture some pretty amazing moments. But then again, you get deeper into some technology and just the way to express um, life, if you
Yeah,
will,
yeah.
is pretty awesome. And then to capture that. So, um, well, let's try a wing. Let's try number one. This is just a classic hot sauce. I think I messed it up already though, Tim. So I think we're gonna have to eat two wings back to back.
Oh,
Because I think I was supposed to eat a wing and then ask a question. But hey, let's just enjoy some wings. This is a classic hot sauce.
which one is number one on
Oh yeah, so you do want to start on this one,
okay.
left to right. Yeah, left to right, and that one that's sitting at a weird angle. Save that one for the last one.
Right.
All right, so yeah,
What's a hot sauce is this one?
it's just classic. It's just a classic hot sauce. So
Well, it does say classic on it,
yeah,
so we'll see.
good luck.
Oh. There's not much spice to that.
No, they're they're all really good, Tim.
Oh yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah, that's just a normal hot wing sauce right there.
Mhm.
Well, again, Tim, I think I messed up. I think now we got to eat two wings back to back. So enjoy that one.
I
It's
took a
pretty
big
good.
bite, so
You know, keep at the big bites. The more you eat of the wing, the better.
I hear that.
For others, especially.
Yeah.
All right, this next one says it is a ghost pepper pear sauce. So I like pears. I don't know about ghost peppers, but
Actually, it's pretty sweet. I like this one. I would I would use this in my house, you know?
yeah, I don't mind the ghost pepper. It's not too bad yet.
Yeah.
Mm,
I love the way you say that.
I don't know. I've done this a time or two. So all right, next question, Tim, is if you could witness one biblical event, which would it be and why?
Um, I was thinking about all the different biblical events and over this time just because I've been studying the Old New Testament and then connecting it to the Old Testament and just thinking of all the different things that happen. Um, you know, there's so many things that I would just that captures my imagination because I'm a picture person that that I think there's so many of the battles that I think where God just intervened and slayed, hundreds of thousands of people or a couple thousand people. I just think I would always like to see that. But then I think just the walls of Jericho coming down and the nation of Israel not doing anything and just seeing God work in that. I just think seeing that and being there with them and just raising your voice to the Lord and just seeing the walls come down, I think that would be just something that would just be cool to see.
Yeah, that whole event is pretty awesome. Like it's the instructions of just go out and be obedient
Yeah,
and do nothing except for march.
yeah,
And then on that seventh day, like you said, it's like raise a hallelujah. And just as they scream and yell, and it all comes down
yeah.
and they
Well,
overtake
I
the
think
city.
sometimes we want to have a plan of action, because we're just people that want to do something, and God's
Yeah.
like, I got this. Trust me. Just walk around.
Just go out and I'm with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome.
yeah,
I love the whole book of Joshua and I mean that's right at the beginning of it, so it's pretty awesome.
yeah,
You get a glimpse of what the whole book is about right there.
yeah,
Like God's gonna work and move. So
yeah.
all right, well, another wing. That one wasn't too bad. I will say it crept on me for a minute there. I was
Yeah,
like,
my lips were starting to go.
that ghost pepper, it came out of nowhere. So this one, it says Neil's real deal. So the real deal part of this,
Is the real deal.
we're gonna see, right? This is a new set, Tim. You and I get to experience this new set together.
I think I'm letting it sit on my lip too long because I could feel it on my lips.
Yeah. See, the problem is when you get it on your lips and you start licking your lips.
I just don't want to fling it into my eye or something like somebody else did.
I've heard somebody's done that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that wasn't too bad. It's getting a little spicier. Not bad.
I've noticed that they try and trick you. The first bite's like, oh yeah, I could do this, and then all of a sudden it starts to creep on you. But
Yeah.
that one's not too bad. So, if you weren't a pastor, Tim, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd probably be working out in the field. I was a HVAC tech for a long time. Instead of telling people whether they were going to be hot or cold, I was keeping people hot or cold, kind of an idea. And so I was doing HVAC work. I worked for computer companies. I enjoyed it. I wasn't a good maintenance guy. I just have to admit that. Like I did the work and I could figure out the problem, But there's guys that could walk in there and just like they know what's going on, they figure it out right away. And I'm one of them guys that's like, okay, let me go look at it. And then, I would always say a prayer and God would just show me what was going on in the equipment, and I would be like, "Oh, it's just this thing," and I'd fix it, and I'd be like, I'd walk away from there, knowing I fixed it, but I knowing that it was mostly God that showed me and led me to the situation and the problem. And but like I wasn't a great tech, I have to say that.
That's all right. That's how God works though, right?
Yeah,
I think sometimes we can think, oh, God doesn't he doesn't need I don't need to bother God with this, like working on a car. There's times like I'm working on a car, I can't get a bolt loose. And it's just like, all right, I need to step back and I need to pray. And I'll walk back up there and it's just like whoop, it just like loosens up. And I think God just does those things in us, those small things to remind us he just wants to be a part of every piece of what we do. So
yeah. I got a couple funny stories where me and my brother helped build the floor in a church, and the floor was put in by a contractor, but it was really super wavy. And me and my brother were sitting there and we were like, how are we going to level this out? And I just told him, hey, we just need to pray and then set one tile and pray and set the next tile. And then like my brother was like, we should just set them however we want. And when we were joking around, of course, and he goes, we'll set them however we want. But then when he said that, somebody walked by and they scolded us, and they didn't know that we were putting all this tile in for free. We did 40,000 square feet of ceramic tile
ooh,
for free. And he scolded us. And then later on, they told him, hey, don't get on them guys. They're doing this for free. They're helping us out. And uh, later on, we seen that guy, and he never would come and talk to us, or even just say, "Hey guys, I was sorry for saying that." But it was just a funny story of how, like, God was just working, and we set the whole floor, and it came out perfectly level. But it was God. It was every tile was set by Him. You know what I mean?
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tim?
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nose running, anything?
No.
Any sweat?
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
That's a whole nother story.
All right, all right. All right, so this one is L Verde Los Calientes. So this one's a good one. This is a nice thick sauce, so
All right.
I kinda like this one, really.
It's your favorite?
Yeah, it's been in a couple of sets. This is a good one. I think, okay.
I like the smokiness of it.
Mhm. I can eat the whole wing on this one. I'm gonna enjoy these first couple.
The last ones you're not, right?
You know, Tim, I enjoy it all the way through, yeah. Alright, so you've been in ministry a while.
Mhm.
What is the best piece of advice you've been given in ministry?
I was thinking about that. Um, I think Robert gave me a piece of advice. Uh, Keep it short and sweet before, and I think that's one of the ideas that he has. Just like I understand why he says that, because I think sometimes as pastors we can go on and on and on. I mean, you never want to give the pastor the mic because I think just for that. But I
Hey.
just thought of that one now. I had a different one before when I thought about the questions, and that was the one I'm gonna stick with.
You know, Tim, I think I've heard a story about when you were in SOD, and you had to give, like, a sermon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It was when I was first going to SOD.
you must not have been given that advice by Pastor Robert,
No, he did not give me that advice yet.
'cause
And
it
Pastor Rich he can witness that we were not short and we were not sweet.
yeah,
So
I heard it was rather lengthy.
yeah, it was terrible.
Alright, so keep it short, to
Yeah,
the point.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, well, let's stop talking, Tim, and let's eat another wing.
All right.
Alright, this one is called, Dawson's Hot Sauce. It looks really fancy. It's got a pretty fancy label. It says it's only a 5 of 10 on the heat meter, so it's sitting right in the right spot. Um, apple caraway here. So, you know, let's see, Tim. This one looks kind of spicy. This one scares me a little.
I can feel the heat from all of them. You know, I'm just saying, it's just building in my face.
All right, well, let's see. This is where it gets real sometimes is number 5.
Not bad. Not bad.
Hmm.
I'm waiting to see if it sneaks up on me.
That one's got like a licoricey kind of flavor to it.
Yeah, it's good. I could eat the whole wing of this one.
You better eat it.
No, I'm gonna save my appetite for the last few of them.
All right, I'm going to remember that. All right, so Tim, what's a surprising fact about you that maybe most people don't know?
I have like 3 or 4 that just right off the top of my head. Um, I rode my bike from Santa Fe, New Mexico to Colorado Springs.
Wow. How long did that take?
3 days.
3 days of riding a bike.
And I came up the sad thing is I came up Raton Pass and in one without stopping, without getting off the bike, coming up Raton Pass. And if you've ever been on that route, it's just all uphill all the way.
Mm,
And then we got to the top of the hill, and the the Department of Transportation for
CDOT.
Colorado,
Yeah.
CDOT, they were paving the road coming down into Trinidad, so we were not allowed to ride on the downhill.
Oh,
So we didn't get to get all the pleasure of climbing up that big hill. And then I hiked up Mount Kilimanjaro. Uh, I went on a mission trip to uh, Tanzania and I climbed up Kilimanjaro.
hmm,
So them are 2 of the ones that I was thinking of. And the third one is, and most of the kids know it, but parents don't know it. And when other people hear it, they say I'm lying, is that I had red hair when I was a kid.
that is pretty surprising right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
My nickname was Carrot Top, so
That's pretty crazy, Tim. I don't know that I would believe that either.
I got pictures to prove it. So
We might need to see some
yeah.
pictures. All right, so this one,
I can feel the sweat in my cheeks here.
you're gonna pull a Billy. Hey, you could use the napkin. That's why I give it to you. Yeah, we got tissues for you too. You're gonna pull a Billy and say, my mustache is so wet. But you don't have the mustache going on there. So all right, so this one this one says jerk and Scotch bonnet. This one smells terrible in my opinion. So I'm
Can
not
I
sure.
smell it?
Oh, go for it. Whatever, whatever you wanna how you wanna experience these.
Do you think that smells terrible?
I think it smells terrible, but maybe you're gonna really enjoy this one. You could eat as much of this one as you want, Tim. This is number 6. I don't know if it tells us where it's at on any scales, but you know, we're getting up there. This is 71,000 on that Scoville scale. So
Well, I'm excited for that.
this is nothing, Tim.
No.
71,000 is nothing. It almost doubles on the one after this. So this is like eating a pancake right here.
Have you ever sell cars before? You're a good salesman, you know?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
It tastes better than it smells.
I think it tastes the way it smells.
No.
One of our noses does not work. That's
I don't want to wrestle over that. So we'll see if that one sneaks up on us. All right, Tim. So again, you've been in ministry a while. What advice would you give to somebody who is considering pastoral ministry?
man. I thought about this beforehand. Now I can't remember what I said.
That's not good, Tim, because it's these last ones that really make you think, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. I don't know. Um, I would say, since I don't know what it said before, I'm going to say trust where you feel God is calling you. Because I think God will, even though you feel God is calling you to something, um, God just wants you to move.
Yeah.
I think God just wants you to step out. And when you step out, then God can lead you where he needs you to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome advice. I think we see that in scripture, right? Like I always think of Peter in things like that. Like Peter, he loved to put his foot in his mouth, but when he finally realized, hey, Jesus was just saying, Peter, I just need you to step out of the boat onto the waves. Keep your eyes on me. He walked on water, right?
Right.
And I think that's exactly what you're saying. Like, just trust the Lord. Take a step. If you feel the Lord's calling you to it, the only way you're gonna know is take the step,
Yeah.
right? Uh, and He can pick up the pieces.
I tell students all the time, it's easier to guide something that's moving than something that's perfectly still.
Yeah,
It's easier to maneuver that thing into the direction you want it to go than if it's perfectly
stationary.
still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, for sure. All right, Tim, take a deep breath. Now we're getting in. We're getting in it now.
What number is this?
This is number 7. This one, it says it's the Pepper Ninja. Scorching. It says scorching on it, Tim.
I feel that already.
You haven't even taken a bite,
I
Tim.
know, but my lips, like,
They're
like it's
getting
been
there. Huh?
melting. Yeah, it's
So this one, I told you the last one was 71,000 on
right.
that heat scale. So this one, Tim, is 133,000. So we almost doubled. Not quite,
Yeah,
but
I'm looking forward to
yeah,
it.
number 7 is where I think it really starts to get real at 7, and then 8 just lose all all sense of reality at
Yeah,
number 8. So
all right.
so enjoy number
I'm
7,
looking
Tim.
forward to that.
And I'll just remind you, you said you were saving your appetite for these later ones. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm sitting here thinking if I want a second bite.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I just reminding you, said you were saving your appetite for these later ones. I'm doing it, Tim. I'm gonna regret it, but I can tell you already.
I don't think it's gonna get me, but
Mm.
I'm gonna do it too. That one was enjoyable.
You enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Let it sit there because it's starting to creep on me, Tim. Like
I could feel it internally.
I can almost feel it going down my esophagus.
Well, my
Mm.
dad he loved to eat chili and hot chili, and he would always walk around with like a folded up napkin on his forehead. It was like tucked behind his ears,
Well, you can do whatever you want with that
and
napkin over there.
he would sweat, and I could feel that same sweat coming over me right now.
I didn't want to say
I have
anything.
it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I didn't want to say anything, but I'm kind of seeing a glow coming from you
Yeah,
over there, Tim. So,
my kids would be laughing right now.
well, hopefully they can watch this and they'll really get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
So, is that one creeping up on you a little bit?
No, it wasn't too bad. I didn't mind that one. And it says napalm on there.
Yeah, that one
Napalm.
I can really feel that one, Tim. So, so while we're enjoying these wings, the
I'm gonna take a little bit of water.
oh, okay. So what's thinking of eating things, what's the weirdest or most adventurous food that you've ever tried?
I'm not much of a weird food eater. That's probably one of the reasons I haven't gone to Peru. I think you have to eat guinea pigs, and my kids had guinea pigs, and um, but I was talking about it earlier. Frog legs. I ate frog legs one time. Somebody said, "Hey, you should try these. They're great. They taste like chicken." Don't believe that.
They don't.
It tastes like you just cleaned out your kid's fish tank, And that's exactly the way it tastes, like swamp water. It's like,
Oh,
not
that
good.
sounds good, Tim.
Yeah, no, I would not do it again. I don't. I had alligator and I've had bear and shark, but nothing too crazy.
Those are all pretty crazy. Those aren't normal eating
Well, shark was
meals.
delicious
Was it?
and bear was okay, I would say, but no frog legs. No, just you can keep
Not
those away from me.
you don't want the
No.
frog legs. All right, Tim, we're gonna keep moving here. So just to encourage you, the last one again was 133 on that heat level scale. This one is only 135,600. So it's a small step up. This is number 8 and it's called the bomb.
Yeah, I've heard about this one.
Oh no. This one does have a warning on it, okay? This one says this sauce is extremely hot. Keep out of reach of children. So I don't know why the last one didn't. We're only talking 2,000 different on the
Yeah.
heat level, but Tim, this is the one that I think
I don't know why Faith touched that bottle if we had to keep it out of the hands of children.
oh, I, this is it, Tim. All in
This
on
is
this
a
one.
big step.
Yeah, this is number 8. So we'll good luck on this one, Tim. Again, remember you saved your appetite for these later wings. Do it. You first, Tim. Mm.
How do you feel about that? You have to.
I'm feeling great, Tim. This is where I start to feel the sweat on the top of my head. Yeah.
That
Ha-
has some fire.
yeah, you like that one?
I don't like it,
That
but it has some fire. That's
yeah,
one of those ones that takes your breath away.
yeah, that one wrecks you a little bit.
Yeah,
And I always do the terrible thing of breathing in, thinking that's going to help, and it just makes it worse. And yeah,
man, that one's burning my cheeks, like right at the top, right
yeah,
here, right underneath my eyes. I
it
just want to rub them.
it has the perfect name, the bomb, because it is kind of like you take a bite and all of a sudden it just boom inside your mouth. Your entire mouth
Yes,
is on fire. So
my mouth is numb right now.
that's good for the next couple. So to go along with this one, this next set I call rapid fire. So
All
it's
right.
gonna be a series of questions, kind of an either or. If I can get them out without drooling down my cheek. So rapid fire, Tim. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Uh, early bird or night owl?
Both.
Both. Okay. Do you like reading a book or listening to a podcast?
Podcast.
How's that water helping?
Not helping at all.
Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Beach. Woo.
Uh, all right. How about your favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Good job, Tim. I think my eyelids are starting to sweat.
That one got.
Yeah,
We got two more.
we got 2 more, Tim.
I don't know if I'm invested that much.
Oh yeah, you are. You got this, Tim. And again, I just want to encourage you. So last one was 135,600 on that heat scale. This one, Tim, it's not that big of a step. It only goes up to 820,000.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Oh yeah, so
That's this one here.
yeah, that one there.
That last one got you.
Yeah, it did.
You're gonna be able to do this?
Oh yeah, yeah. I almost ate the wrong one again. I almost pulled a James. I don't want to do that. All right, so here we go. And again, Tim, eat as much as you want.
Breathing is overrated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go for a second bite. I don't know why. I just feel like maybe I would encourage you to do the same thing.
encouraged me.
Mhm.
I think that one calmed down my taste buds a little bit. That bomb was just not good to me.
Yeah, it's kind of what you said earlier. It just goes numb, but let this one sit for just a
Hold
minute.
on a second. Holy moly! Should have brought a shower cap.
Yeah. All right, so here's the big question, Tim.
All right.
What is your most embarrassing moment at church?
I was talking about this earlier. You know, it's not really. It's an. It's a humbling embarrassment. I think. Was when I died here at church, and
And he's serious. He
yeah,
he died.
yeah, when I died here at church, and Sean had to give me CPR, and then seeing all the pictures later on, and it was just a humbling experience. It's hard for me to even talk with all this stuff going around my mouth. But it was a humbling experience because I really saw myself as someone that could endure like a lot of different things, you know. And when I really started to think about that time of me being so vulnerable and being, dead, and them doing all the work and me not able to even realize what was going on, my first realization was about the students. Is when I really became conscious of what was going on or what had happened in the whole situation. I just started to cry. And my kids were with me and they were like, Dad, what's wrong? And I said, well, I didn't want any of the students to see me in that vulnerable position,
Yeah.
in that place where I would hurt them because I love them so much and I care about their feelings and I care about just about their faith and how God works in their lives. And I didn't want to be a hindrance to that.
Yeah.
And it made me humble before God, like just to say, God, I want you to use this, however you're going to use this. But it kind of brought me to that place where I had to like put my feelings aside and put me aside and just say, God, I want to see you do a work in this. I don't know how you're going to use this in my life,
Yeah.
but it was a humbling, but then also just feeling so helpless, you know.
Yeah, pretty crazy how and what God uses in our lives. Uh, he can use just about anything. Well, he could use anything, but I will just say, Tim, I think the tear in my eye, it's not from your story, it's the hot sauces.
Well, I'm glad.
So this is the one, the only, the final, Tim, and we call this the final dab, the last dab here. So this is again, it's not that big of a jump. The last one, 820,000 on the heat level.
All right.
Tim, this one's only 2,693,000. So you know what is that? Three times
Yeah.
hotter. And so we do this thing, Tim, where we put just one one dab on there.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh yeah. We got to do it,
Is
Tim.
that good for us?
Yeah, it makes it just rounds it out. So yeah.
I'm gonna trust you.
Wow. That's I feel very proud of that, Tim, that you're willing to put your trust in me. It's just a wing.
Oh,
You
you're
ready?
ready to go?
Oh yeah. I'm ready. Number nine's still brewing in there, so
Yeah.
let's add to it.
Do I have to bite where the sauce was at?
Yeah, yeah, here.
Well, I was a benefactor. Oh, thanks, Corey.
Mm, you bet. I just got some of that sauce on my lip.
Water bottle, dude.
Mm.
Chapstick not provided.
That one's
That one goes right to the back.
So Tim, do you have a favorite Bible verse?
Yeah, it's a couple about it's three Bible verses kind of, but it's about one story. It's about Abram when he kind of like when God is calling him out of his country, out of his father's house, into the promised land, and going to show him the land where he's going to take him. And it's just one of those stories that we see that God has a plan to make a great nation out of him and bless him. But Abram doesn't know where he's taking him to. And so much of our lives we're uncertain where God is leading us to, but we have to trust that God has a plan in it and that God's going to do something great and awesome. And when I look back in my life, that's what I see is, I run into people and they ask me what I do, and I tell them I'm a pastor, and they're like, I don't ever see you as being a pastor. Like,
Yeah.
you're not the person that I thought would be a pastor. But God had a plan. I didn't. I just went where He asked me to go.
Yeah. Awesome, Tim. You did the sermon through it. Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
And it's amazing how God can use the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. He is an amazing God, and man can take a pile of dirt and make an amazing piece of art with it. So,
yeah,
Tim, I just want to say thank you for today. Man,
yeah.
you must have drank some water before this because you got it coming out every pore of your face and head.
I
So
can tell you, I just feel it.
I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have today. It's been awesome to spend this time with you.
Yeah, it's been fun. Uh, I don't know if I signed up for this, but
You totally signed up for it, and we appreciate it. So hope you enjoy the rest of your day, Tim. Thank you everyone for joining us for another episode. Look forward to the next couple. We have a couple of fun ones ahead of us next week. We got Pastor Alex from Young Adults, and then we're doing a live recording of this in front of our staff for the one after that. So stay tuned, watch the upcoming episodes. Hope you all have a blessed day.